hot, isn't it?
It's so hot.
Today, we are testing a foundation. Sizzling out here, baby. Sizzling. Hey guys, so today I'm going to be showing you guys how I get this face of makeup here. Basically what this is summer sweat-proof, heat-proof. I'm dying because it's 90 degrees outside, weatherproof makeup. When I am going out and I want to look put together, I want to feel put together, but I don't want to be sweating my makeup off throughout the day. I don't want to have like a full coverage glam eyeshadow with like lashes and everything like that. And when I just want to look like I'm put together, but that my makeup's going to hold out throughout the day, this is the kind of look that I always go for. You guys know this. So Bobbi Brown reached out to me and they asked me if I wanted to try out their new primer and their new foundation. And I was like, hold up, primer? I told them that I'm not a huge fan of primers, and they asked me if I'd be willing to try their SPF primer, and I was like, oh, you bet your bottom dollar I will, because if there's one thing that I'm good at, it is protecting my skin. When they reached out to me, this was maybe like a month or two ago, it might have been even about 2 months ago, because I've been trying these products out, I've been getting aware of them, I figure out how they work and how they work for my skin. Gotta try everything first, make sure I like it, and then I'll talk to you guys about it. So what I did today is I tried the primer on half of my face so you guys can see how it wears. I'm gonna do a wear test throughout the day, and I'm also showing you guys how I use the foundation. I'm talking to you about it. I'm giving you guys some key points that I find about it as well. You guys know that I'm not a huge fan of overly matte foundation, and this is a matte foundation. However, it is not overly matte, and that is one thing that I wanted to test out for you guys before I even mentioned it. But I really love the finish of this foundation. It's very flawless, but it doesn't feel heavy, and I'm gonna talk to you guys all about that very soon. So this video is sponsored by Bobbi Brown. It means the world to me when amazing brands reach out and want to work with me. It's so cool and I really appreciate it. So the product I'm going to talk to you guys about today is the Bobbi Brown Skin Long-Wear Weightless Foundation with SPF 15. It is a full coverage oil-free shine control foundation. And then the primer I'm going to try, I know primer, but hold tight, is the Bobbi Brown Primer Plus Radiance Broad Spectrum SPF 35. I'm going to get into all that in a second, but I wanted to show you guys basically what they've done here. So this is on the Sephora website and they have the Bobbi Brown Primer Plus Mattifier, Plus Radiance SPF 35, Plus Protection SPF 50, and Plus Hydrating 3-in-1 Setting Spray. So they have these plus line here that can go along with the foundation that you want. So if you need a mattifying primer, you've got it. If you need SPF protection, you've got 35 or 50. And so you've got your different spectrum that you can use there. I don't love like a pore filling primer, etc. Those are the primers I tend to steer clear from. Mostly I'm using it for the SPF portion of it. It does add a nice hydration and kind of sticky base to that side. For me, it's just really important to get that sun protective factor. So that's why I was like, yeah, I'll definitely give it a try because I am an SPF lady. I'm always using SPF. Ask any of my friends and family. If I go outside, I've got SPF 100 on. So I'm going to flip over to before this face, Kristi, and I'm gonna talk to you guys about everything. I'm gonna show you guys how the product wears and applies and after initial application, and then I'm gonna wear it throughout the day so you guys can see how it wears in the hot sun. It's very hot today. It's gonna be 85. I know that's not hot for a lot of you, but in Washington State, we are not used to this. I have dry skin, but during the summer months, I do get really oily in my T-zone, but still it maintains like a dry texture. It is a matte finish, but it's also really lightweight, so it's not going to look super cakey on your skin at all. It's also gonna last really well. So what the foundation says here is it is a skin-loving formula that glides on seamlessly for a natural, multi-dimensional mattifying coverage that's breathable and weightless. Marine sugarcane and natural mineral powders keep oil and shine in check, while vitamin E and C and shea butter infuse skin with healthy hydration. High performance formula is tested for sweat, water, and humidity resistance. The reason I agreed to this primer because I told Bobbi Brown when they reached out, I was like, look, I don't love primers. I never have. I just feel like I don't see much of a difference, if any at all. And they asked me if I'd be willing to try out this primer. So I wear SPF on the daily on my face, and I think it's important that all of us do. I didn't for the longest time, and I do suffer some skin damage from it. Like I have spider veins in the side of my nose. I have some hyperpigmentation right here. So I make it a point that if I'm going to be going out in the sun to put on SPF, and I think everyone should, we need to protect our skin. So what this says is it boosts radiance, evens skin tone, and locks in moisture while providing you SPF coverage, which I like. So I'm going to use the primer on half side of my face because I know a lot of you guys would want to see how the foundation performs with and without it, since I'm always so indifferent towards primers. So I'm going to try it on half my face today, and I will show you. You don't need much of this at all, and it does have some radiance in it, so it allows your skin to really shine through the foundation. It does smell a bit like SPF, but it's not overwhelming. I always use a foundation generally that has SPF in it anyway, and so does this one. So we've got the 35 as the primer, and then the 15 as your foundation, so your face will be good to go. So the right side of my face is the one that's gonna have the primer on it. Bobbi Brown has ingredients in their products that are good for your skin, so that's why it's really good to start with a good skincare. My skin is just going through it all the time, always lately. I just don't know what's going on. Probably because I eat a lot of carbs lately. I don't really want to talk about that either. So this is the foundation. This is the shade Warm Sand. I'm not going to go in with too much, especially on a hot day like this. I don't want my foundation to be too much, so I like to slowly build it up. The thing is about summertime. Okay, I'm just gonna talk about summertime real quick. I don't know what's going on with this heat wave in this world right now. Probably a little bit of global warming. It's next level. It is next level right now. And I was going through a cream foundation, cream product moment where all I wanted to do was wear cream products. While I love that, and I was going through that all last month, it is also not holding up well in this heat. By about an hour in, I'm completely melted off. It's not been working for me. So when I was in LA, went back to my old makeup style, and basically what I was doing that whole time was using powder products and setting my face, and honestly it held up so good. My foundation looks so much better, and I am not generally a mattifying product user, but the whole time I was away, I tried doing my normal routine in LA, but being in like the 90s and almost 100-degree weather outside, it just wasn't happening. I realized that I had to do a more matte look, and that by an hour in, I was like so shiny and dewy and glowy. But when it's this hot outside, like my cream products just aren't cutting it, and it makes me so sad, but it's just a fact of life. You know, I think I feel like a lot of people are afraid of matte foundations, but the other day I was reading a thread online. It was about a new foundation launch, and everyone in the comments was like, please tell me it's a matte. And I'm like, maybe I feel like everyone likes dewy foundation, but maybe most people like matte, because it seemed in the comments like that was definitely the case. And I consider this more of like, I'd say like a medium coverage, because it does take some building to get it up to really, really full. As you guys can see, I have some redness up here on my forehead. I had a cluster headache yesterday, so I had an ice pack on my face all day. But this foundation does build really well, so if you do need to build up coverage, you're not gonna struggle with that. At least I don't struggle on my skin. I bet most of you in the comments are so happy right now because I'm actually shade matching my foundation correctly. In any area of your face, if you ever feel like you apply too much product, just flip your sponge around and use the side with no product on it, and you can kind of dab it over and it'll remove any excess that's overly applied. All right, so I'm going to show you my skin directly after when I applied it. There's no concealer on my under eyes or anything yet. This is just the foundation on my skin after immediate application, and then of course I will show you at the end when all the rest of the makeup is done and we've talked through everything else. So my nose is always a teller of if a foundation is good or not, and I feel like my nose looks pretty good in this foundation. Doesn't look cakey or anything. I'm gonna turn the lights down a bit. If I'm going to be outside, I like to use way less product. Again, same with the foundation. With concealer, less is more. Like, this is even still more than I should have used, but I have a lot of redness and discoloration today. It's so annoying. When it's really hot outside like this, I like to set my under eyes with a powder. Lately, I did this the entire time I was in LA. I was setting my under eyes. I know that for a while there, I was not, and I do like the way that that looks, but again, it's too hot. It's creasing. It's coming off, so I do like to use a bit of powder on my under eyes. Not overly so. I'm not like full on baking. Well, kind of looks like I am, doesn't it? But I just do about that much on my under eyes, let it sit for a minute. I'm not taking it down too far. And then I do use a bit of powder in my laugh lines. And then I'm going to be using MAC Give Me Sun today because I'm going to be out in the sun. And I am using more powder products again since I was gone. Before that, it was like all cream. But when the first day I got to LA, I wore what I've been wearing here, and I was wearing stinking stick foundation, cream products, cream everything. And oh, if you saw my face after the end of that first day, hideous. It was all over the collar of my shirt. It was all over everything. I always obviously bring it up around the perimeter of my hairline as well, so that you're not getting that line of demarcation. If my hair could get off my face, that would be fantastic. I never want there to be that line where you can see where the bronzer ends and the foundation begins. So really buff it in. I wish cameras weren't so unforgiving. It looks so bad on camera versus what it looks like in real life. In real life, it looks so seamless and flawless, but then on camera, it's like every pore, every texture, beautiful. I'm gonna bring a little bit of that down on my neck as well, just so that I don't have a bronzed up face and a white neck. It stays a bit tacky, this foundation. It doesn't fully dry down to like an actual powdery matte. I'm gonna be taking this blush duo. This is from the Patrick Star and Matte collection. This is the I'm Not Blushing shade. Remember when I first got this and it came busted? They sent me a new one. I was so excited because I've never tried, I think it's Peaches blush? And this came in the mail and I am so excited to try this. I've seen a bajillion people talking about this and I've never used it. This is the Whisper of Guilt highlight by MAC, and I've never in my life tried this, but I heard everyone raving about it back in the day. Do you remember everyone was like, oh my god, it's the most beautiful highlight, and I tried to buy it and I thought it was, for some reason I thought it was discontinued, but if it was, it's back. I feel like highlights have changed so much over the years that this was probably the most blinding highlight back in the day. It is kind of subtle actually. It's really pretty. It's got a gold hue to it, as you can tell. Some people say like, Kristi, why do you use highlight? It enhances your texture so much. And I'm like, you know, I know, but I also don't care. That is a really pretty highlight. Oh, it's got a really pretty sheen to it. Gotta get the highlight on the chin. Fried chicken goodness. I'm gonna take that brush and just kind of pat out that powder. And I'm just gonna do a quick eye look. Like I want it to be just so simple. So I'm just gonna toss this shade in here. This is the Smashbox Cover Shot palette. I'm just gonna toss this shade throughout my crease. When it's a hot day like this, like I'm not gonna spend an hour cutting my crease for it to literally melt down my face. What kind of looks do you guys do when you are just trying to look put together but not spend like 16 years on your makeup? I'm always so interested. I feel like people's are so similar. I always feel like people go for a warm, easy eye look. They like toss some brows on real quick. I went out yesterday, went to the grocery store, and I never run into people from my high school or anything like that. But yesterday I looked particularly bad, no makeup. I ran into literally 4 people. 4! I'm gonna also take a little bit of that and run it under my eye. This is how quick an eye look is for me when I just want to get makeup on and not spend 16 years on it. Why is everything always 16 years? And then I'm just going to toss a bit of this shade on my mobile lid. This is one of those like 15-minute full faces. All right, I'm going to toss my mascara on. I don't even think I'm going to do lashes today. There's honestly no point. With how hot it is lately, what's happening is I put my lashes on, I glue them on, and then within maybe like 3 hours, I look in the mirror and the front is completely off, and they're literally not even attached to my eye anymore. All right, and this is the finished face of makeup, so you guys can see what my skin looks like. As we sit here, it is 11:20. Why is this sideways? 11:22 a.m. I feel like once the full face of makeup is on and it sits, so it's been about 15 minutes since I applied everything, as you can tell, it really starts to warm up to your skin and it doesn't look overly matte at all, but it does have a matte finish to it. But what I really like about it is that it feels pretty weightless. It doesn't feel like I'm wearing a lot of makeup or anything like that. It doesn't feel makeup-y, which I really hate the feeling of makeup-y skin. It is a $46 foundation. It comes in 30 different shades and it looks like it has a nice range from light, medium, and deep. And you guys can see what it looks like. This is after it's been on my skin for about 20 minutes. It looks really good. It covered all the redness and discoloration that I wanted gone. And we're gonna see how it wears throughout the day. So I will be back in a few hours to show you guys what we're looking at. I will see you then. It is 4:35 p.m. and this is what my skin is looking like after being unbearably hot in this house. It's honestly unbelievable. It's looking really good, holding up really well. Not looking ultra shiny, just looking shiny in the areas that I highlighted. Staying nice and matte, but not super dry looking. 5 hours, looking good. Dang girl. It is 11:46 p.m. It has been on for almost exactly 12 hours now, and it looks pretty freaking good. My nose has a little bit of breakup on it, but I mean, for 12 hours, it looks pretty good. I've eaten a lot of oily food today, and it's held up really well. My forehead, you can see, like some oils have come through, but it's not transfery. Final review on it. Again, I have worn this before, so this isn't like the first impression or anything, so I'm not like trying to figure out exactly how I feel about it because I already know. If you have oily skin, I'd say you would definitely really like this because it really keeps oils under control. If you have dry skin like me, it's still not too matte on me. It doesn't overly emphasize my texture. It doesn't look cakey. It feels nice and weightless. A lot of the times by this point in the day, I feel like I really want to wash my face. So because you don't need much because the pigmentation is really good, I really don't feel like that right now. I am gonna wash my face because it's bedtime. I'm really impressed with it, and I have a feeling it's gonna become one of my faves. I do see myself wearing this often, especially when it's this hot outside. All right, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you guys liked this video and that it was somewhat helpful for you. Again, if you guys want to check out the Bobbi Brown Skin Long-Wear Weightless Foundation with SPF 15, same with the Primer Plus Radiance Broad Spectrum SPF 35, you guys can check that out on the link that I will provide in the description of this video, or you guys can go to your local Sephora to find it. Let me know if you guys have tried these before, if you like them, your thoughts, etc. I'd be interested to know. I thank you so much to Bobbi Brown for sponsoring me in this video. It means the world to me, and thank you guys for watching. If you guys did like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I upload every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. You guys can also follow me everywhere else. Everything is RawBeautyKristi, so Instagram and Twitter. And I will see you at my next video. Bye! There is a cat hair in my nose. They have... This is the Sephora website, by the way. Come on. Hello. Contractor. It's so hard to film with him here. So it says here, a skin-loving formula that glides on seamlessly for a natural, multi-dimensional... Oh, I didn't do my brows. Again, if you guys want to check out... Well, I don't need to film that.